In Japan, there lies an island that goes by the name of Yonaguni, and lying just off its shore underwater may just be one of Japan's greatest mysteries, the Yonaguni Monument. The Yonaguni Monument is a large underwater rock formation that was discovered in the mid-1980s and is approximately 100 kilometers east of Taiwan and more than 2,000 kilometers away from Tokyo. In addition to the underwater monument, Yonaguni's island's history still remains rather vague and full of unanswered mysteries. The island is first mentioned in writing in a 1477 Korean document called Chosen Hierarchy Yumen Yeyama Kenbinroku, which recounts the journey of several fishermen from present-day province of Jeju who ended up adrift there.
A legendary female leader, Sanae Soba, is said to have been the ruler of Yonaguni at around the end of the 15th century. She is described as a female who possessed superhuman powers that allowed her to protect her people from foreign attacks multiple times, including when the island was attacked by Miyako, another island nearby Yeyama. To this day, rituals are still held once a year to worship this mythical figure. In the westernmost inhabited island of Japan, Yonaguni is also associated with the myth of Nyogo no Shima, which means the island of women, where women are born and live only to support each other. There are many stories that exist about the island of women, ranging from those that claim that when a man went on an expedition there would be beautiful women who would serve them all night long and provide drinks, to those that contradict this by claiming that men would be attacked from all sides as soon as they arrived, making it unsafe for them to leave, and that men would only be used for reproductive purposes after being seduced. Clearly, Yonaguni Island is full of mysteries, but nothing quite as mysterious as the discovery made in 1986 by a local diver named Kiichiro Aratake.
Kiichiro Aratake actually made what some experts refer to as the archaeological find of the century by chance. He was diving up the Yonaguni Jima in quest of a new location to observe hammerhead sharks when he made an intriguing find. He ended up leaving the authorized safety zone for diving and shortly after finding a massive stone building 35 meters below the surface of the ocean. When looking at the building closely, Kiichiro was startled by its size. The dense coral incrustation made it difficult to identify exactly what it was, and out of curiosity, he encircled it several times, took some photos, and then returned back to land to show and tell everyone. The number of theories off the Yonaguni Monument is endless, and it clearly attracts people as if it were a subterranean city, despite the fact that it isn't one. Divers frequently risk their lives in the ocean's powerful currents so they can get a peek of what lies behind its imposing deep-sea barriers.
Masaki Kimura, a marine geologist at the University of Ryukyus in Japan, was one of these divers. He has been diving at the location for more than 15 years to measure and map its formations, and is convinced that the submerged stones are actually the ruins of a Japanese Atlantis, an ancient city sunk by an earthquake about 2,000 years ago. He has identified 10 structures off Yonaguni and an additional 5 related structures off Okinawa's main island. These structures include the ruins of a castle, a triumphal arch, 5 temples, and at least 1 massive stadium, all of which are connected by roads and waterways that are partially shielded by what may be enormous retaining walls. According to the dates of stalactites discovered inside underwater tunnels that he claims collapsed with the city, the ruins total an area measuring 984 by 492 feet, or 300 by 150 meters, and date back to at least 5,000 years. Rock inscriptions that appear to be from ancient Kata script, which was a writing system in use in the Yama Islands and on Yonaguni Island prior to the introduction of the nation's education system in Japan, were also discovered, as were a triangular bath pool structure, 2 post holes, a structure that resembled a dance platform, a castle entrance gate, ditches, staircases, a turtle-shaped relief rock, and terraces.
The majority of us would debate whether the monument was either man-made or created naturally, so it makes researchers and professors curious. According to Boston's University geologist Robert Scotch, parallel fractures frequently develop naturally in this kind of rock, particularly in regions with high tectonic activity, and the wall simply fell into vertical position due to erosion. But at Kobe University, Tairu Oki, a professional in seismology, claims that he has never witnessed tectonic activity such as significant impact on landscape, either above or below the water. Oki said that he's dived there and touched the pyramid. He also said what Professor Kimura says is not exaggerated at all, and it's easy to tell those relics were not caused by earthquakes. Furthermore, the structures, according to some experts, maybe that's all left of Mu, a mythical Pacific civilization thought to have vanished beneath the waves. They also identify quarry marks in the stone, rudimentary characters etched into carved faces, and the rock sculpted into the likenesses of animals described as an underwater sphinx that resembles a Chinese or an ancient Okinawan king. It really makes you wonder about the mysteries of the Yonaguni monument and all the history behind it. Nevertheless, studies are still being made and breakthroughs are still happening. Who knows what lies in the future discoveries of the Yonaguni monument?